Hey everyone, welcome to today's super mysterious story. Rumor has it someone heard strange knocking sounds while fixing their house in town. As night fell, the peace of the town was shattered, with a few young lads getting tipsy and swapping tales of strange happenings in town. Suddenly, a spine-chilling yell echoed from the bushes. They thought it was just wildcats having a spat, until some boys glanced over. Or, who knows if it was a mirage or just a figment of their imagination, but that glowing pair of eyes vanished in a blink. Then, a cat stealthily approached its buddy, who was already looking a bit worse for wear. Just then, the long-awaited reunion of family members finally took place at home, creating an atmosphere that was cozy yet tinged with a strange eeriness. No matter how tough outside life was, Mom couldn't be happier seeing her son back, grinning like a Cheshire cat. She mentioned wanting to take her son to church to seek divine forgiveness, probably trying to turn around that luck even bugs wouldn't touch. The next day, with parents in tow, she strolled into the church and bumped into her childhood BFF, Alyssa. The woman seemed to sense something, turned her head just in time to see the new young priest saunter onto the stage, introducing himself as Paul. He announced that the former old priest had to stay behind due to a long-distance trip, and that he'd be stepping in to lead the mass from now on. As soon as the mass wrapped up, Paul quickly charmed the townsfolk, and Lael found her old friend Alyssa, once a rebellious ball of energy. But now Alyssa's eyes reflected a dull tedium as they reconnected and discovered she had just returned to town as well. She had built a life in the big city only to end up with an alcoholic husband who had a knack for loving her with his fists, driving her nuts. Unable to take it anymore, Alyssa fled back to town, only to realize she had a little secret to deal with. She couldn't help but chuckle about how fate loves a good joke, promising never to return, yet here they both were. As night fell, a storm hit the town, and Lael peered outside to see figures shambling through the downpour. She quickly called her family, yet they weren't seeing anything. Lael insisted it looked just like the legendary old priest, Prue. To prove she wasn't just seeing things, she dashed outside, shouting for the figure, who seemed to pick up the pace as soon as he heard her. With thunder rumbling, she ended up losing track of him. Was this what they meant by lost in the rain? She hurried back home, only for the next morning to find the storm had wreaked havoc, with seagulls soaring about like they owned the place. Yet upon reaching the beach, they were shocked to find it littered with cats. Talk about a strange series of events. This promptly sent the town into a frenzy, as checks revealed the poor kitties' necks were, well, professionally dealt with by some kind of animal. To avoid any health hazards, they decided it was best to send all these poor felines to the big bonfire in the sky. Meanwhile, Paul visited town Dr. Green to hold a miss-mass for her ailing mother. Stepping inside, Grandma mistook Paul for the old priest, and Dr. Green quickly clarified he was the new guy. Paul, like a long-lost buddy, looked kindly at her and offered holy water, claiming it was a blessing from above. Since returning to this town, Lael found herself directionless, while everyone else was happily going about their laid-back lives. On her stroll, she bumped into Aaron, and the two old friends instantly clicked, reminiscing about their childhood shenanigans. As night fell, Lael dreamt she was all alone in a little boat, with the memory of a girl she drowned frequently haunting her. Meanwhile, outside the town, a strange figure appeared to be hovering in the air, creating an atmosphere that was truly eerie and chilling. Suddenly, a person happened to be passing by and heard bizarre sounds emanating from the house, and out of curiosity, he couldn't resist the temptation to go and check it out. This town, is anyone around? Simply passing the time away? Is anyone out there? He assumed that the townsfolk were merely playing a joke on him. Little did he know, a pair of enormous eyes were staring right back at him, and ever since Father Paul arrived in town, strange occurrences were non-stop. Father approached a paralyzed girl, seemingly bestowing her with mysterious powers. Everyone expected her to get something, but Paul told her to collect it herself. The crowd thought the priest must be joking, but Lisa began straining to get on her feet. Paul encouraged her, "Get up, stand up." The crowd gasped in disbelief. It was nothing short of miraculous. Many in the audience suspected he was joking. Lisa's mom bluntly stated, "This isn't funny at all." However, it seemed that Lisa was somehow moved by something. Paul's actions thoroughly convinced everyone present, eliciting uncontrollable applause for this magical moment. Everyone was astounded. Could she really be a divine messenger? Her parents rushed her off to Dr. Green, hoping it was all a miracle. Green's checks revealed that Lisa's condition was actually stabilizing, hinting she might soon walk again. However, Green was puzzled despite her paralysis. Why was she recovering so quickly? Lisa's parents exclaimed, "This is truly a blessing from God." After they left, Green realized her mother was inexplicably missing from her bed. Hearing noises from upstairs, she rushed up to find her mother perfectly fine in the second floor room. She was baffled it could be since Father Paul's arrival. They were indeed graced by divine intervention. Townsfolk flocked to seek divine blessings, as the nun warned everyone not to rush things, hoping for their salvation rested solely on Father's attention. Though Lael wasn't big on faith, Paul seemed to sense her inner turmoil and didn't hesitate to ask her directly. "Did you know all along that Lisa could stand up? Was it just coincidence?"